some of the least desirable places are Africa. Those are the least desirable posts, like Kinshasa. A lot of people don't want to be posted in certain parts of Africa. Now, South Africa, okay. Yeah, South Africa, okay. Like Cape Town, Foreign Service, Cape Town, Joburg, okay. Especially like Durban, all that, they don't mind too much, even though they got to be careful about crime. But being American diplomatic corps, they will have to make they also are granted weapons. They're granted weaponry as opposed to other modern Asian and European countries. No, another desirable high-end posts are like in Europe, Switzerland, Luxembourg, places like that, Brussels, Belgium. Those are high-end foreign service posts. Very difficult for people of my ethnicity to get those jobs. Very difficult. Paris being among the highest of all. Paris, Milan, London, of course, top end. Where else? Moscow, also top end. But Moscow, they have to know that doing that, they're under law. They really, really are scrutinized for the relationship in Moscow. But Italy, those are real top end in Europe. And as I told you, Australia and New Zealand as well. Those are the good end of foreign service. Difficult for us, my ethnicity, my ethnic background, to get those posts. Very difficult. Another good end, even though they would say risky, but the Middle East. Right now, very good end. Doha, Qatar, Dubai. When I went there, Dubai was almost like half dust, half city. Half dust. Before people here even heard of it, I was there. Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all these places, very luxurious. Because the Arabs of that region, the Khalij, what they call the Persian Gulf, Arabian Gulf, is called the Khalij. They have a strong penchant for luxury, for extreme luxury too. Not only luxury, but very extreme luxurious accoutrements of life, cars, furniture, materials of the seats of the cars of their homes, the floor, the veneers, everything. It's very extreme. It's the most extreme of luxury that you've ever seen. So a lot of diplomatic foreign service officials also get to access that they've never seen here in the U.S. Furniture and a lot of things like you would see in New Delhi or Mumbai or other places in India or the Far East. Sri Lanka, another beautiful place out. Now that the war is done, it's amazing that I'm talking to you, and thanks to the Sinhalese-run government, that I'm talking to you, and the war in Sri Lanka is actually over. I can't even believe that as I speak to you, there's no more war in Sri Lanka, man. I thought I would never see that, man. It's a beautiful, but that's one country I never wanted to leave, was Sri Lanka. The Sinhalese treated me very well in Sri Lanka, man. I never wanted to leave that country out. There's no war in Sri Lanka. No more war, man. That's deep, man. It's incredible that they routed out everything. The leadership of the Tamils captured it, everything, routed out completely. The Tamil Tigers, man. Yeah, completely finished it, man. No more war. It's deep, man. It's incredible, man. That country could surpass Singapore, man, if allowed to, man. And it was the Englishman who was there, but he's there early on out trying to do things, man. They could actually surpass because they got more land mass. And the land mass is still, the road and infrastructure is nowhere near developed as anywhere else. There's a huge potential for development in Sri Lanka. It's huge, man. Huge. Beautiful place, man. I think about it and I'm starting to drift off in my heart. I really miss it. Now can you imagine if I'd been to places like Indonesia? How would I feel? But I know I miss Sri Lanka. And I miss also Qatar, Doha, Qatar, because I love the leadership of the Al-Thanis, particularly Sheikh Jabir Hamid Al-Thani, son of his father, so forth, who went to London, who was in London. But the son, man, Sheikh Hamad or whatever, a really astute man, brilliant man. Very brilliant, very pragmatic man. I like the way he treats his wife. Beautiful man. Before these people even heard of these places, I was there. Before they even heard of it. Before white Americans and Europeans heard of these places showing off, I was there. I was planning to stay. I never wanted to come back here because I know how limited I am. The environment they created this environment in America like a cage to limit you, and then they have thugs within the enforcement and other bodies, thugs to make sure that you stay in line and not to aspire for the venues of the master classes. They have people make sure that, say, look, if you try to go cross this line of the master classes, we'll break your legs. We'll break your legs, we'll break your arms, we'll hurt some people near you. Stay in your place, stay in your venue, stay in your, and it's a horrid, horrid life. Once you see the vibrancy of colors of the international world, it's a horrid, bland place. Women are bland. Everything is bland. Blah. The term they use, blah. Very bland, man. Very bland, man. And very uncreative. Very uncreative. Non-creative place, man. So Singapore was a nexus for me because it was between that and modernity. It was a medium between that and the extreme colors of Asia and modernity, Western modernity. And I love the place, the spices, the food, the 24-hour rojak culture. You can always get up and find stuff all middle time of night. You can always forage some type of exciting different foods. You can always forage something all time of night. You can forage something and go to some different. See, that's why that safety and security is very important. Before I denigrate the Singapore ISD or the SID pragmatically, the safety and security is very important because they protect you to where you can get up and forage all times of night for different types of exotic food, as opposed to the bland, the Anglo-Celtic. See what we're seeing here. This is Anglo-Celtic. A lot of people don't understand that it's Celtic culture, and it's bland, very bland. What they eat. Even the eroticism, the sex is bland, very bland. Once you lived out, you don't want to come back. It's very bland. The people, very bland. Very primitive people, and they feel they are superior, and they're not. They're idiots. They're actually morons. They're actually literally morons. They're idiots, man. Just trust me, brother. I can put my metal against their metal, their mental metal, and beat them. They're moronic. They're fools. Very, very, very bland people, man. Very bland, and I tire and bore, from dealing with them. Yeah, I really do. So I'm disappointed that I wasn't able to fly today. I'm very disappointed that my own brother stiffed, my cousin particularly, who doesn't like me because I'm Muslim, because of Muslims, they stiffed me, man, concerning my father, and excuse the term stiff in reference to my father. Stiff actually is a phallic, P-H-A-L-L-I-C, stiff meaning like a stiff penis. Stiffed meaning you were stiffed, like shafted. Phallic terms, sodomic, sodomy-oriented terms of being screwed. When I thought, and I was told that my father's passing away would be on Saturday. Actually, they held it in advance today. I was going to fly. I would have already been flying tonight on the way to New York, and they did it. And perchance, the last obstacle would have been if I were on a no-fly list. But I was ready to buy and pay for the ticket and everything. And I found out from my grandmother it was today. So what is done, effectively, it has ruined my relationships with my sisters in New York. It's destroyed my relationships because they say, oh, you didn't show up to the funeral. You didn't show up to the memorial. You did it deliberately, not knowing that my brother lied. If he did lie, we can't be sure, and said it would be on Saturday. And it's not Saturday. They did it today. And I was planning to be there by tonight so I could be there tomorrow for Saturday's funeral memoriam to my father. So it makes me look like a real demon that, see, he's become a Muslim. See how those Muslims separate themselves and do? You see, to feed more fire to the filth, more filth to the fire. See, this is a COINTELPRO type of thing.